Hey, good morning, everyone.
Morning, sir.
Shall we continue? First thing, when you open any portal, first thing what we see a menu page, or when we go to any restaurant, we see a menu card. If you say into any web page, we see a home page, website, and all, right? Even when you go to an ATM, you get a menu options, right? First, we'll develop a menu options. Based on our menu options, we'll develop each functionality. So that way, it would be very better for you to understand and easy to implement also. Okay. So first thing, let me build my menu options. So what is the expected behavior of this program? The expected behavior is a voter. Okay. You should get registration. A voter. You should be able to register it and you can cast a vote. You can cast a vote also. And there is a different behaviors at the time of registration, different behavior of the voting. So I'm going to create two main methods which mainly takes care of this registration and voting. While I'm doing a registration, I need more details of the user. So I'm taking my requirements together first. Before developing this application, I'm collecting all the data points as we call it as requirement analysis. Requirement analysis. Normally, we have SDLC. Any software we develop, we go with this SDLC process. This SDLC is software development lifecycle. Every developer should familiar with this process, software development lifecycle. Got it? In this requirement, right? This is the first stage. What is the first stage? You get the requirement from the user, you do analysis, requirement analysis. Okay? So then once your requirement is analyzed, then you go with the design document. You're gonna design the approach. What is the design you're gonna implement? Once your design is approved by any senior member, then you go with implementation. Then you go with your implementation. Once your implementation is done, it is up to you whether you want to verify the changes with the confirm the changes with the BA, or either you can push the changes. It is up to you. Okay. So once your implementation is done, you validate it. Validate or review it. Validate by yourself or review it with BA. BA is business analyst or product owner. You will show the demo. Okay. You will just show the demo. If demo they are okay with it, so you can raise a PR. You can raise a PR. Raise a PR means committing your changes to GitHub. So your changes can be deployed to the production. PR means build request. Once your PR is reviewed, your PR is reviewed because your changes has to be reviewed. What reviews they do is whether you are maintaining the coding standards or not. You are maintaining the coding standards. If there is any changes is need to be implemented, they ask you to fulfill few suggestions to modify your code and so on. So if they are okay with all the changes, so they will approve your changes. They do once it is reviewed, whether they approve or ask for changes or change. If they approve, then you go with your next cycle, next phase. Otherwise, you will go and modify the changes. Again, you do implement. Again, you'll have to make sure your changes is not impacting the previous behavior. You raise a PR again until it is approved. You will be in the same cycle. Got it? Once it is approved, then you can go and give it deployment. Deployment to staging environment or QA environment. Your QA means your tester. Tester validate their your changes. First of all, validate the changes. Validate or verify. Both are two different things. Validate is different, verify is different. Okay. Once deployment is done, they verify the changes and they found no bugs. If they give done. Okay. Then you move to production to the user, which is UAT, user acceptance testing. The final testing. Finally, it will go for last cycle. Complete. Done. Any application will go through all these cycles. Any application will have to go through this entire cycle. This cycle is nothing but software development life cycle. Okay. Now we are in a stage of first, where I'm taking all the requirements. How this application you want to develop? I want to develop two main features, which is registration and voter. While at the time of registration, I want to have different validations and voting different validation. Before registering it, you will make sure it is greater than 18 years old, not less than, right? And if it is less than, you will ask him to, you cannot cast your vote. You will ask him to leave. Whether he is validate, so then you can go and cast your vote. When you can cast your vote, and when the time of voting, you can choose any party he wants to. And finally, you can collect, you can see how many votes that party got also. Got it? So that is what we will develop this application. First, what is the first stage? So in the requirement analysis, it is done. Now I'm going with the design. The analysis is done. What is the requirement? I took all the requirements. Now I'm going with my design. How I'm going to design is, there is a menu of options. A user can interact with. How user have to interact with an application, right? A software has to be interacted. For example, I'm interacting with my laptop by using my keyboard and mouse. There is an input and output devices. My menu will work as an interactive, right? Menu is most common you can prefer with any restaurants. By looking at menu, you can choose an item to order, right? So by this menu, user can choose either to register, either to vote. He's already having a voter. He's already having a voter. He's already a voter. Then he can go and cast a vote directly. No need to do registration again, right? So that is what options actually I'm going to give as part of the. Got it? What I'm going to do is, let me create a new options. In this menu options, I'm going to give some students. Then go to registration, portal or platform. It is up to you. You are naming, English grammar. Based on your English grammar, you can give anything. Please choose one for registration, and two for created. Got it? So you are showing the options. What are the options? You can get. Let's call the method. Okay. So you just have to do open a terminal. You just press control and negate syndrome. The terminal will come. If you're not familiar with the VS Code that much, there is an option here. There is a terminal. Look on the terminal. The terminal will come. So you can run your program. How you can run your program is just click on Python and give main.py. That is the file name of the Python. Python is the command. You are running the Python. If you're not, if you're not comfortable with the commands, there is a run button here. For that, you have to install a code runner. There is an extension. Please refer the code setup. video which I uploaded to YouTube. So this extension you have to install. Otherwise, you will not get this run symbol. Okay. And please watch that video so where you can do your code setup. Now this menu option, when I'm calling it user, we are printing this menu options. So here, and I'm showing the menu options, but it is done. The program execution will got stopped. Up to now, this is good. So I'm calling menu option, menu got printed. So I got menu options. Now, this person, he can choose, right? Once he's choosing, you have to collect his choice. What is the choice you make? Or you can collect user choice dynamically. You have to do what? Take the input by user input function. What is the choice user is given? Please enter your choice. I'm asking the user to enter his choice. Got it? And if his choice is equal to one word. So registration. Voter registration. Otherwise, if this choice is equal to 2, then do vote. Anything else? Then do saying that invalid choice. Right? Other than these choices, these enters anything else, you can say it's an invalid choice. Please try it. Invalid choice. Please enter again. It's like your ATM pin. If your ATM pin is wrong, again, you are asking your pin, valid pin. Got it? So before make sure I'm executing this, I have to declare these two methods. Otherwise, it will say error. See here. I'm giving user choice now. I'm giving one invalid choice. It's entered again because this choice is what? This choice is taken as a string, not an integer. See here, when I close a mouse cursor, will get what is the default type? Return type string. You have to convert it to an integer. Otherwise, just convert this one to an string. If you don't want to face that type conversion issues. For example, if you put an integer here, you are converting that to a string to integer. You pass as an in alpha characters, automatically you will get that value error exception. Correct? So you have to avoid that. I'm just keeping it as a string, but I'm doing the string comparison. It is up to you how you want to develop. You are a developer. So it is your design and you are the creator. However you want to create, you can create it. But, so now my choice is one. So here it is not defined. So let me go and create these two methods. What is registration? So the third part, what registration methods. We'll do the implementation later. Third part, that's possible. So my errors is resolved. Errors are resolved. So I'm just resolving the errors is the now, what is the first. Let's clear this out again. And to execute. What is my choice? I'm trying to register. So done. Good. My errors resolved all the errors which is gonna occur. Simple. Any difficulty to understand this much? To understand this much, we are good. we're gonna just improve each functionality of this. This is going to be our entire day of code design. My design is done. My design is done. Once my design is done, I'm just gonna show this approvals. This is how I'm gonna do a design of this feature. If this design is approved, then I can go with the implementation of this each and every behavior. What is your function or method is doing? It is a behavior, right? It is a verb. I told you when you are declaring a variable, it's a name, it's a noun. But when you are declaring a method or a function, it's a behavior, it's a verb. You are doing some action there. The voter registration has some action. One person is doing the work of registering a user. One person is doing a work like we do on doing a vote, casting a vote. Okay. So since I am the only person who is designing and who is developing it, so I'm okay with this design. I don't have any problem. Okay. Any doubts? No doubts in this?
Okay.
Now what I'm going to do is, since this voter registration is done and this choice is there. So let's get my terminal back again. Running this. Now, what is I'm having? I'm having only two options, either to register, either vote. And I go back to my home. Hmm? And I get a can't I get exit out of it? I need to that implement that also, right? I should implement that. So either you get registration, either you get voting. But now I want to do exit. No, I'm not going to do now. I'll do some vote later, either do registration later. I want to exit. Do I get an exit option? Which is like a logout option. Do I get it? Yes, you can get it. Then okay. First to press 99. 99 or 9 to exit. Okay. You press 9, then you can exit from this application. What you can do, delete. If this choice is equal to 3, if this choice is equal to 3, what you can do? Print. You can just saying that yes. Otherwise, this is equal to that is all you're gonna see. Okay. So let's start this. There is our right. So now I want to hit exit. Just press it. What I'm doing mistake, I'm giving a 9 here, but here I'm doing 3. Okay. So let's try this again. Let's press 9. Yes, visible. Good. Okay. What I'm gonna do is what I am gonna do is as soon as well, okay, let's not go with this now. So this is going to be more complex if I put it in a value column. Let's just make it very simple. Okay. So now this is done. Either he can get 3 choices. One means registration, voting, or either to exit. Okay. If you given any other wrong choices, you'll get invalid choice. And please try enter again. Please enter again. Or please try again. Well, try again. You make it sound. Okay. Now what I'm doing is let's do simple step by step. Okay, so now enter some wrong invalid choice. Invalid, please try again. In order to try again, in order to try again, my application should not stop here. This my application is just stopping here, right? If you are if you wanna try again, the application still should ask for my user choice again, but should not stop. Getting it? So when I'm saying it's invalid choice, please try again. If he wants to try again, the application should prompt him, please enter your choice again. Not like you're stopping the application. You are stopping the application. You should not do that. Correct? Guys, how many are you following? See here, when I'm giving invalid choice, please try again. The application is stopping it here itself. Again, I have to restart. Either there is a other alternative. You can ask the user to enter the choice again instead of restarting the server again.
Yes, yes.
Got it? So what you can do is you have to take this menu option and ask the user to again. Got it?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this entire block of code. Okay, this entire block of code, put it in while loop. And put it infinitely. Then keep it here. Okay. If user wants to exit, then you can break out of the loop. If user wants to exit, then only you can break out of the loop. Okay. So even once his registration is done, so still he can come and choose his choice until the only option he can leave the application by using 9. By using 9. If he wants to exit, he has to give a choice 9. See here what happens. Let me show you. Just call that video. Okay. Here. On this. What is my choice? I'm gonna do registration. This is my letter choice again. Let's do some statements here. Instead of passing it. Right? Voter registration is done. Is done. Voter registration and voting casting. Okay, so let's try this. See here, even though I'm giving anything, still it is in loop. Even when I'm giving anything, invalid choice, please try again. Now you're asking for the user to enter it again. So this is the behavior you want, right? As long as you want to press exit, then only you can leave. Then only you can leave. Got it? So now if I'm entering 9, okay. See here, please visit again. I'm leaving this. You see? Just understand how while loop works. While loop works as long as that condition is true. I'm making while is true, and this is going to be an infinite loop. Until I break that loop continuously executing. This loop continuously executing. Let's do this. Let me show you how debugging can be done. So when the control comes here, then control automatically comes the field statement. Let's do step by step. So you do debug application in this run button. There is it. Python debugger file. Insert a comment and this application will be running in debug. See here, I'm having my debug options. My debug options also controls here. I told you this is a resume which you can continue. This is step over, step into, and step out. To restart and to attack menu. Just stop it. Now I got a menu option In this menu option, I put a control pointer here. So if I put here continue, automatically it will go to next debug pointer. What is the next debug pointer? So here, this is the next debug pointer it can be there. Otherwise, this entirely thing execution is done. Just play with this. This is self-explanatory, and I believe you can understand. Got it? So now what I'm doing, I'm giving the print statement. So the next executable statement is print statement. Now printing is done. Got it? The same way I'm showing in the visualizer, step by step. This is how step by step. You have to do step over every time. Now while loop is true. Step over. You are going inside of your while loop. You are taking the user choice. Please enter your choice. I'm taking the user choice. What is the user choice? For example, I'm doing voting. You press enter. See here, what is the user choice? We entered 2. This input is taken as a string. Check the choice. Is equal to 1? No. Condition failed. Choice is equal to 2. Yes. Then go and cast over. I will go inside and you can go and execute it. See here. Voting is done. So once we casting vote, if you want to see that, you just put a debug pointer here also. So you can see that. You can put a debug here also. Then you can see. Otherwise, you have to do step into it. Got it? So now what I'm doing, it is asking user choice again. Now this time I'm entering 1. Press enter. Now voter registration. Now if since I put a debug pointer here, so now the control comes to debug pointer, not like next line it will go. See here, the debug pointer comes here. Now I'm gonna say voter registration is done. Voter registration is done. Then again it is coming into my while loop. This while loop is an infinite loop. As you're breaking it, then only it will get outside. If you want to break it, so once said, you don't do that. Once registration is done, just break the loop. Once voting is done, then break the loop. Then also you can do it. That is up to you how you want to do it. I told you, you are the developer, you can design however you want. This your choice is yours. I'm okay with this. I'm going to develop this way because I don't want to run the application again and again. Got it? So again, I'm asked what is your choice again? What is your choice? This time I want to exit out of the application. Otherwise, I'm just trying in some invalid input. Yes, enter. Now, what is the choice? Some invalid thing. So you can ask invalid choice, please try. Wrong, wrong. So invalid choice, please try again. It's a while loop. I'll go and ask the choice again. This time, I'm giving exit option 9. I should get exit and say, please visit again. That's it. Let's enter. Choice is comparing with 1. No, this condition is not satisfied. So it is not a vote registration option. So now his choice is comparing with the 2. It's a casting vote option. No. Now his choice is 9. To exit option. Yes. Then go print, please visit again and break the loop. See here, I'm taking it. Now program execution is stopped. All these things is done. Got it? So now all you have to do is just improve these 2 functionalities. Casting a vote and casting a registration. Got it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's do voter registration first. How you want? Which one? Voter registration or casting a vote? Let's go with an order. We can go with registration. Before voter registration, we need to get what? We need to get some user details. I need to know your username. What is your name? Sorry, your name and your age and where you are staying. I need to know your address. That is all I need. Based on your convenience, how much details you want to take, you can take it. Either you need only name and age, you can take it. And based on your convenience. I'm taking 3 inputs, which is name, age, and his city or address. City is more comfortable. Address is going to be very lengthy. So I'm going to ask the user name. You take the name from the user. Input. Enter. Please enter. Gratitude polite. Please enter your name. We got the name. Then get what? Age. Input your age. I will even ask with the age name. This is in formatter. Your age, please. This is going to play. For example, if I enter my name as Lakshman, then it says Lakshman, your age, please. So that would be more easy, right? So it is more impressive. And you take this formatter. Lakshman, please enter the city. Okay, please enter the city. Right? As soon as you are collecting these details, I don't need to bother about name. I don't need to bother about city. I want to validate his age. He is a major or minor. Who will be considered as a major? Who will be considered as a minor? Major and minor. If his age is less than 18, less than 18, he is a minor. And can return out what's his name? Comment. Say name. Lakshman, you are too young. Registration. Failed. Simple. Otherwise, you can allow the user. You can go into the registration. Got it? What you're gonna do is you're gonna take this name, age, and city details and put it in a dictionary. So you can store this voter details. Otherwise, you are just taking simply taking the names and you are not storing it somewhere. You have to store it in where? Normally we store it in database. We perform database operation and we can store it. As a final project also, we can do the same application. So we can improvise more and more to this application. Okay, for now, let me store it in a global variable. This global variable is going to contains all my voter details. Who are all the voters on that particular constituency. On that particular constituency. Okay. Now, see here, that's it. Once his details is there, you're gonna take the voters. This voter details is going to be as a dictionary. So you can store as a key and value pair. What is his name? Take this name. What's his age? Age? Age is the city. Okay. So once you take this entire voter, just add it into your voters. Voter registration is done. Simple. Simple. And you can also add one more functionality to see if this is there. Voter details. $2. Now let's put the health if his choice is equal to 3, get all focus. This is going to be your function. This function will return just this variable. With all values. Return this. See here what happens. Now what I have made this, now you can see. Let's run this application. So clear this out. Let's run this. What I'm gonna do, I want to see all the voters. I want to see all the voters. For the voters, 3 options. Don't have any voters. Now I should print this out. Just simply return the list. So I have printed. So for 3. So here I'm getting my empty list. Because I'm doing a return statement here, not printing it. If you want to print it, you can print it. This is your choice. Normally, we do a return statement in this getter methods. That's what we are doing in the setter method and getter method as part of encapsulation. Okay, so I don't have any voters. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a voter registration. I'm going to enter my choice 1. This is asking my name. Please enter my name. Okay, this person name is Rashman. Rashman, your age is I am 26 years old. And enter your city name. I'm staying in Bangalore, Vijaya. See, there is a mistake. What is happening? The age you are entering is 26. It's a number, but still it is getting considered as a string because it is an input. You have to convert and then teach it. Solve by one. Mistake. If any mistake is there, solve it step by step. And here itself, once his age is 18, you are just printing it. You are just printing it. You are to into vote registration failed. But still, these details will be stored. Still, these details will be stored. Yesterday, I have shown you that. So I don't know. I don't need to show that, right? What you have done is you are just doing a print statement. You are not stopping the program execution. If you want to stop the program execution, what you have to do? You have to raise an exception. You have to raise an exception. So what you have to do is, for example, for now, let's raise an exception. Raise value of exception. Got it? So he's gonna raise this exception. If you want to create your own exception saying anything like too young, too old, you can create it. That is your choice. But now we're just going with an existing one. This is a inbuilt one. Okay, known common, which is a common one. And this once you raise this exception has to be handled. Otherwise, your program will be stopped. Your program execution will be stopped. If you don't want your program to be stopped, then you have to handle that exception. There's a basic exception handling concept. Okay, so once you raise this exception, let's put this block of code which is going to raise another exception. Which is going to raise your exception. Put it in try. Inside try block. The single try block cannot exist. Then I'm adding to handle my exception. I'm going to accept. I'm going to handle my brace exception. It can be any exception. Say exception method while registering. If you want to show the exception message, this exception message, all you have to do what? Hit aliasing as message or as exception. Just put formatter. What is the message you want? Show them. Let's see. So this is referring this. This exception message will be entered here. Okay. Still, since your exception is handled, still it will go and add this voter and all. I don't need to do this. It is only successful when there is a try block is success. I should do what? Only when your try block else block got execute success. Then take this entire thing. Voter registration is success when there is a valid age is validated. Take this entire thing, put it in else block. One method. Simple. So let's keep this inside. Once voter registration success, there is no exceptions in your try block, then only voters will be registered. Okay. Then only voter registration will be done. Simple. So let's run this. Okay. I'm giving my registration option directly. What is your name? His name is this time his name is Wali. Okay. Wali, his age is 56. And this age is coming for voter registration. So, but we cannot restrict. And city. He is living in Fish Kingdom. Fish Kingdom. Okay. He is living Fish Kingdom. Voter registration is done. Got it? Now, if we want to see whether voter registration there is registered or not, we can press what? 3. See here. Wali, age is 56, and its city is Fish Kingdom. Good. And you want to register another person, you can go and register it. So I want to register other person. And his name is Sudri. Wali's brother, Sudri. Now he's very younger person. He's 17 years old only. He's 17 years. Yes. What is the city name? And city name? He's also living in Kishkanda. Exception occurred while registering. What is the exception? Sudri, you are PN, so registration is failed. What is saying? This is the message. This is what is the name? Sudri, you are PN, so registration failed. Since the exception is handled, that is the reason you are pleased to enter your choice again. Otherwise, your program will be terminated here itself. Your program will be terminated here itself. Got it? Any doubts in this? Any doubts? As if I enter, if I want to exit the application, I have to enter 9. Otherwise, it will be an infinite loop. If I give invalid choice, that also taken care. It's invalid choice, please try again. When you press a 9, then you are out.
Yes.
Good?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is done. But this feels like something is missing to me. This feels like something is missing to me. What is it? When you are doing a registration, you have to give a register ID. You will get your voter ID, right? In the voter ID, you will have your voter number. Either in any identity proof, a identity number will be there. You have to create that number, right? You have to create that number. Got it? So if you want to create that number randomly, you can create that number. Got it? So for that, there is a module called random. So random is randomly you can generate something. Okay. So once his registration is done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create ID for him. If all verifications is done, then I'm going to do an ID. This is going to be his voter ID. Because ID is a inbuilt method, so to avoid that inbuilt method, so I'm just giving voter ID. This I have to generate. I have to generate randomly. So say declare a method for this separately. Generate voter ID. Okay. And let's get this generate voter ID. Therefore, return the voter ID. So randomly I want to generate a random in the random module. So there is a method called randint. Okay. If you see here, it's a random integer. Return a random integer in a range. So this is random model is need to write random which randomly generates some numbers for you. Okay. So which is having this random bytes. Random is like randomly generates any number from 0 to 1. So you will get all floating point numbers. Okay. So normally I go with rand int to generate an integer number. And this random integer, you have to specify the range from which range you want to generate a random integer. And it will generate one random integer and it will give it to you. I'm going with a random integer. Got it? In this random integer, I'm specifying the range. And the range can be from this number to this. Any of the number randomly it generates. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is, well, adding this append operation, instead of adding an operation to a list, it's better to have a voter ID, and voter ID is a combination of voter fields. If you want a key and value pair, you have to make it as a dictionary. Now, since your voter ID is there, so now how you can add an item to your dictionary based on key. You got your voter ID, right? This voter ID, register those way. I'll show you what it looks like. You'll definitely see. You will definitely feel this is more looks good. Because when you're doing a cast vote now, if you want to check whether he is a voter or not, he is having voter details. To verify those voter details, you need this voter ID. Voter ID should be unique, right? So that is the reason we are generating this voter ID. Got it? Let's clear this out. This is good. Okay. So voter registration. What is the name of the details? So small names, Sita. She's 26. What is Sita's place? Does anyone know Sita's place? It says husband place. Okay. Voter registration is done. If you want to see the voter details, how it got added, see here what happens. Just press what is the in order to get the voter details, enter to 3. See here, you are getting a key and value pair. So this is the voter ID. With this voter ID, you are getting Sita's details. Got it? It's like your Aadhaar number. In this Aadhaar number, you can get your based on your Aadhaar number, you can get all these personal details. Sounds good? Okay.
Yes.
For now, let me every time in order to get to this, let's do some add this to this default. Try again, register one more person. And so his name is Rama, this Rama, and he's 30 years old, and he is also Ayodhya. Registration is done. Yes, December 3. So got all the details. It is up to you how many number of voter registrations you want to do. You can do those many number of registrations. I don't have no problem. But now I registered only 2 voters. This is the voter ID of this user. This is the voter ID of this user. Got it? So now this entire functionality is done. The last pending functionality is casting your vote. Casting your vote. So before you are casting your vote, right, you have to get voter ID. Enter. Get the voter ID. Input. Please enter here. Okay. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take this voter ID. You're gonna take this voter ID and check whether it's a voter or not. How you can do this? It's a very simple one. If you are familiar with membership operators, if this voter ID, if this voter ID in voters, if it is there in voters, print verify voter ID is got it. Otherwise, yes. There is a value address verification. Wait. Okay. In order to do this, what? It's same thing. Try accept. Same thing. Try accept. Take these details. Take this block of code. Put it anywhere. Try and accept. Accept. The value address as Excel save. Print the message directly. Whatever the message is sending, just try this. Here's verification code. It will just print this verification code. If everything is success, then print voting is done. It's done. Got it? The final verifications. Let's format the document. Simple. Let's do this. Stop this program discussion. Clear this out. Run it again. What I'm saying, I'm going to vote again directly. If you want to see it, so who are the existing users, voters, you're getting your Sita and Rama. Got it? Now what I'm doing, I'm going to vote. I'm going to vote. Press choice 2. Please enter your voter ID. Please enter your voter ID. Got it? So for example, I'm giving wrong voter ID. Some wrong voter ID. Got it? What happens? See? Verification failed. Got it? So this is small thing. You have to convert this into integer again. Otherwise, you will not get identified because the voter IDs are in integer format. Get this out. Nation. Get all the voters. So I'm having my voters place 14. This time I'm giving correct right username voter ID. Voter ID is verified. Voting list. Got it? You try with this all the program, and this entirely done. Okay. This is your behavior. So my implementation is done. So I'm giving as a reviewers. You guys are the reviewers of my program. All you people, no? You guys can verify my code is working fine or not. You guys can test it. You guys become the testers. Test it. You want to add any additional functionality or any suggestions? You can implement that. I'll comment this code and I'll share that details in the group. Okay. You guys can play with this application. See how beautiful it looks like. We're getting a menu option and use it. You can choose his or choices. Based on his choices, you can go multiple options. Voter registration, voting, or either get all the votes, or either breaking the application, or otherwise you are keeping it in infinite loop. So continuously you can take, continuously you are listening to get the user choice. Until you choose to leave, you can choose. Nobody is stopping you. Got it? And based on each behavior, we develop this one application. Even to generate a random ID and all. Simple. We'll improvise this application in the final project also. We'll add the database functionalities. Okay, we'll add more. Okay. So that is all for today. And next topic is going to be decorators. Okay. Once you are familiar with the decorators, then we'll move on to generators. And finally, we'll go with file handler. Yeah, that is all for today. And we'll share these code details. Please do do a one round of testing. It is up to you how you want to do this. Have a good day.